Well, hello and welcome to Old People This Week. I'm Jeff, and those two scoundrels, former breakdancing champions from Compton, Ohio. That's Mike and Paul. Good morning, boys.
Live, play, the damn world is free. Do what you want for free.
We are your hosts. This podcast is for people of the greatest generation of all time. So bow your heads as we pass by. If you're not a boomer and you're stuck here somehow, stick around. You'll learn something. We give you all the knowledge you'll need to sound smart this weekend when you're doing boomer-approved activities such as pickleball, dominoes, golf, or, of course, drinking cheap-ass happy hour booze.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Of course.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
We got a comment from Ricky, who sent us the Rocket Man video. He's the handyman I told you about.
Oh, yeah.
I have to say that was your best episode yet, and not only because we are mentioned in it. Well, thank you. That's
good.
Much appreciated. And then we got one from Jody Mosen or something. And it's really good. She said, "We retired, worked our asses off to live in this mess." And I said, that's exactly right, Jody, because, and that could be the motto for this whole show, our logo.
Yeah.
Stamp that on it, this show,
Yeah.
because we retired, worked our asses off to live in this mess.
Yeah. Put that over the door in a plaque.
Clean on the outside of the house. And then from a person named Juliana, she said, "Our meat day is the day after Valentine's Day. Don't ask the year." Now, at first I didn't know what the hell that was referring to. And my son told me that that's probably a bot, that it's nothing. But I also, remember we talked about that person, that 24-year-old girl who's,
The meat anniversary.
yeah,
With
who's
Bill-
dating
yeah, with Belichick,
Bill
yeah.
Belichick. And
Yeah.
he's 72, she's 24, a 48-year difference. And to commemorate the day they met, she posted on her Instagram page a picture of a note that he had sent her on their meat-iversary. And we goofed on that because that's a stupid word, meat-iversary.
Yeah.
Who says that?
Yeah.
Other than
Something
Dumb
struggling
Gen-Zer.
because they don't have a total command of the English language.
yeah. Yeah. And Belichick, by the way, you can date a boomer woman. It's not going to kill you. There are tons of
Yeah.
great boomer women out there. I know a few of them. I'll hook you up, and if you come out here for happy hour, I'll introduce you to some women your own age.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike, this is the important part now. You have to tell us what the hell happened with Gene Hackman and his
Oh, yeah.
wife.
Well, here's the latest update is that now, and again, the authorities are speculating here, obviously, because nobody really knows. But what the testing has shown that she died of something called hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, which is a condition caused by exposure to rodent feces.
Gee,
So, and
how do you get
and it's-
exposure to rodent feces, by the
Well,
way?
it's particularly carried by something called the deer mouse. And the deer mouse lives in Santa Fe, and the authorities are speculating there were mice in the house. And because both of them were extremely senior and not dealing with full capacities, that somehow she came in contact with the rodent feces and became infected and died. And what they've now pinned down timeline is she died a week before he did. She died on the 11th and he died on the 18th.
Oh.
And now they're saying that because of his dementia and because of his heart condition, he probably didn't even know she was dead.
Yeah. That's
I mean,
sad.
He didn't
It's
even,
really sad.
He didn't even trip over her or anything. He didn't-
No, they were opposite ends of the house.
That's a terrible way for Popeye Doyle to go.
Oh, boy.
Senile and they're involved with feces. Well, the word feces freaks me out.
Yeah, it's
Deer
just-
mice in the house.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
All right, here's my rant. My wife said, "You need some cereal. You don't have cereal in the house." I said, "Well, yeah." She goes, "What kind of cereal do you want?" I said, "Get me Captain Crunch. I want Captain Crunch." because Captain Crunch is very sugary and tasty and great. So she comes back, and she comes back with this. I don't know if you can see this. But first of all, it's Simply Truth Organic.
Oh, good.
And it says Frosted Flakes cereal, sweetened organic flakes of corn. I said, I wanted Captain Crunch, and you got me this healthy, organic Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, like there's healthy sugar and non-healthy sugar. Give me a
Oh,
break.
my goodness.
Break is right. I deserve the right at my age. If I want Frosty Flakes, if I want Captain Crunch, I want Captain Crunch. I want
Yeah.
Frosted
Yeah.
Flakes.
Yeah. I used to love alphabets.
Raisin Bran, still my favorite.
I got some Raisin Bran here.
Yeah,
That's
I
my
like-
back. That's my backup.
Yeah.
Go-to when I don't have anything, no Captain Crunch around. All right. The New York Times headline: Fast fads are tiring out Gen Z. No kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding. They stare at a phone all day long, and they allow their
Yeah.
fire hose full of information crap to fill their brains. Put down the phones, as Mike and I and Paul say every week. Live the boomer life. It will set you free. Specifically, if you want to know more, drop us a note, oldpeoplethisweek@gmail.com, and we'll send you our pamphlet that will tell you everything you need to know to live a much more fulfilling life, boomer style. Right?
Yeah, Jesus. I mean, that list of trends that they were all trying to follow. I mean, it's frightening that they have such little self-awareness or gumption that they have to sit and stare at the screen to figure out who they are or who they want
They
to
are
be.
so addicted. It's
mean,
incredible.
Well, and it's just moving at the speed of light, too. It's like anything that they're talking about is changing so quickly.
Yeah, well, one of them, like, there was a water container. There was a big fad of a certain kind of water container, and guess what? It was when then people went out, bought them, filled their house with them, and now nobody cares about them.
Yeah.
Too quick. And then I read this article that really pisses me off. It says 5 things that boomers should stop complaining about. It's from this entity called the New Jersey 101.5, I guess, a radio station. It said that boomers complain. The first one was boomers complain that nobody uses cash anymore. Wrong. I am a boomer. I have never liked cash. I don't carry cash. I was really happy when the age came that we could just use cards, and I don't need cash.
No.
Tap, swipe, and go.
Yeah. Oh my God. There is nothing that'll get me started more than standing at an airport in a line and someone's pulling out cash and getting change back, with which the people who work behind the counter
Can't
don't know
count.
how to make change.
Can't count.
You know, they don't know the simple math of like, oh my gosh, I gave you $1.05 because I wanted to adjust it so you could just give me a single back. Oh, what do you give me 5 cents more for? Oh, no. We're just going all cards. I have actually succeeded in 3 months of not even having to go to an ATM. I'm quite proud of that fact. I have, like, my last thing to overcome was to pay the housekeepers, and then they went on Zelle, and you know what? We're done. That was the last one. That was the last outlet.
Tattoos. Yes, we complain about tattoos because they're stupid, and because most of them look like giant moles on their arms or their chest or their neck, and they don't mean anything really. They'll have all these symbols on that don't do anything.
Yeah, whatever the motivation was at the moment. Probably a couple of years later, that inspiration faded, and you wonder every day you look at it, what the hell?
No, it's that. I asked a person that I know, through a friend of my daughter's, and just said, "Why you got? What's that tattoo?" Because it was symbols, like Asian symbols. I said, "What does it mean?" She goes, "I don't know." She didn't know what it meant. Yeah, that's it. She thought it was cool. She put it on there. Could say anything. Could say "eat it, Joe's." Could say,
I'll tell you, the only thing it means to me is I always remember the one that came across. There was a guy once, and it was in Albuquerque, and he had literally the 505 area code across his face, and I'm like, what are you going to do for life? It was like Breaking Bad comes to the airport that
he
day.
can't even move. He can't move because he's got the wrong area code on his face.
Exactly.
All right, here's our other complaint. They said that boomers complain that young people can't write in cursive. We laugh about it. We don't have to complain about it. They're on their own. I was at the doctor's office, and you had to fill out a bunch of forms. And there was clearly a millennial or Gen Xer sitting there, and they were looking at this form like they didn't know what to do because they didn't have a way to electronically fill it out. They actually had to write things down.
Yeah, they didn't even know how to hold a pen. If you watch them, they pick up a pen, they're not sure what to do with it.
Where do I put this thing, anyways? Boomers complain that kids don't play outside anymore. Well, they don't. And that's not a complaint, that's a stone cold fact. They sit in the basement, they play video games, they're looking at their phones all the time, even at restaurants while they're eating. Oh, speaking of restaurants, this video I'm about to show you here, this girl is one of those that takes a picture of everything she eats. And the reaction, and when she gets it sort of, well, you just watch this video. See, that's what they do in restaurants. They're so nutty. The millennials and Gen Zers, they taking pictures of everything they eat. They don't even look around. They don't know what they're doing. So
Yeah, and why? Where do those pictures, where does that album wind up?
I don't go online to look at other people's food, by the way. That went out, even for boomers, that went out in Facebook era. People taking pictures of everything they ate. Stupid. And then the boomers complain that everyone is on their phone. Why wouldn't we complain about that? The idiots who can't talk to anybody. They're never going to meet anybody from the other sex because they can't get their face out of the phone. They can't do anything. So yes, we can put. It's not even a complaint. It's just a plain and simple statement of fact.
It's a fact of life. I almost ran over that woman last week at the grocery store. I came around the corner in the car. She walked right in front of me, had no idea it was there.
I know what you did too. You gave her the horn, and she probably jumped 6 feet.
She jumped, dropped her phone. Yes, that was a win. I hope it
that's
broke.
a win. That's right. Oh, you should have had video of that. I'd love that. I've complained bitterly over the years about old people driving around in these either golf carts in which they drive around the town where we live, or those carts that they get when they go to Costco that are as big as golf carts, and they ride two abreast, talking to each other, taking over aisles, running over people. Now, at least they've come up with a brand new kind of incredibly looking mobility. They call them horse mobility, and I'm going to show it to you right now. I'm going to share my screen here. Do this. All right. Oh, hang on. All right, there's that. Now
All right.
this.
Taya, yippee, yippee, yay, yippee, yay.
Yeah.
There we go. And then here's the horse mobility.
I love it.
All right.
You know, the
That's the
problem
horse
is,
mobility there. Well, check.
the problem with it is the horse's head sticks up so high, they can't see where they're going. They're going to run that damn thing into something.
I was going to say.
Wait a second, I gotta get rid of this thing somehow.
I'm going to-
And also, how can they climb up on that? Jesus, that's not made for seniors.
Yeah.
No, but if they are kind of cool, I could see you on one of
They're
those
really
horses,
cool.
Mike, with your cowboy Stetson on and
Oh, yeah.
riding
yeah.
around and whoopee.
I'd have my rope going. I'd be
You'd be in every parade.
the
Yeah.
top in the neighborhood.
Oh, that's right. Riding around the neighborhood with that, you could see.
Yeah.
You could try roping some dogs or something.
It would be, I tell you, where you guys live, it would be great to see the police force on those things. It's like right around, like a, yep,
I'd
arr.
get one of those things. I'd get the one that looks like a soldier. I'd get one of those and go ride around, scare people in this neighborhood.
Paul Blart, mall cop.
Right.
And now, if it's not enough, the people trying to tell boomers how to live our life. Oh, what you doing with your hand over the thing here?
Sorry, I was just turning the light on.
If we don't, if we don't have people telling us boomers always telling us what to do, or devising products that we don't need for us, this may be the ultimate one. Let's look at it.
留在你的身边，让它穿透了整个世界，为你愿意穿越所有的时间。
Mike, what do you think of that? Would you wear one of those suits around?
I'd wear that in a heartbeat. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing. At our age, one of the things you don't want to do, one of the many things you don't want to do, is try to pull your pants on standing up.
Yeah.
Because if you do, you're like 2 hops and a crash away from an ambulance run. So if
True.
I had one of those inflatable vests on, man,
Yeah.
I could hop
They should
around
just-
trying to pull my pants on all day long.
No, they should just hand those to us when we go into happy hour. When you get to the front door of the restaurant, they just hand us, here, take this, and we'll
I
go
think
in there
it's
and put those on before we start drinking.
I think it's the hander, so when you're walking out, you're
Yeah, I'll bring this back next week. I need it right now.
Yeah. I love that. I think it's terrific.
yeah, me too.
This next article got me. This Gen Z is drinking alcohol far less than previous generations, a trend that has been holding steady for the past 4 years. Okay. Instead, they say young adults are getting their social fixes at sober-friendly gathering hubs and alcohol-free bars that have been sprouting up throughout, in this case, the Big Apple in New York, in recent years to accommodate what some are saying is a sign of the changing times. Now get this, quote from the Gen Xer. You'd think we'd drink more with all the stuff that's going on in the world. You'd think we'd want the distraction, but I think our phones are distraction enough so we don't need as much alcohol. That is the dumbest statement.
What?
Think about this. Listen, I'm pointing right at you, Gen Xer, right now, who's not drinking. I'd rather have you rot your liver than rot your mind by staring into that phone.
They're not talking to each other. They're not buying each other dinner or trying to get laid. They're just there to gather around and look at their phones together.
We used to go to Barney's Beanery and just sit there and talk
Yeah,
and drink.
absolutely. And so did everyone else.
Yeah, so did everyone else. It was full of people paying pool. They probably wouldn't know what a pool table was, the Gen Zers now.
Yeah.
Gen Xers, they don't know anything. Mike, this is where I read a question and you give the boomer answer. Always very well put. This was in the Washington Post. This parent said, we gave our child an ultimatum that she could get married whenever she wanted, but the parents weren't going to pay for it until she's 25. So she's 21 now, and they're basically saying, don't get married for 4 years, and if you can wait, we will give you the money. And then the person who wrote the letter was saying, does that make any sense? Mike, what's the answer?
You know what? If the child wants to go get married, go get married. Just don't count on us to foot the bill.
I can see it from a parent's point of view. Weddings are expensive, and you don't necessarily want to put out tens of thousands of dollars for a marriage that may be doomed to fail. So they're basically putting an age limit on it. But the people that wrote it in the article were basically saying, let the girl do what she wants, fine. But, yeah, you're right, Mike.
Yeah.
Just let her make her own decision. Just we don't have to pay for it. We paid for our own wedding. And I had Paul, you were at that wedding.
Yes, I was.
I was watching every dollar go out the door there.
Drinking those free drinks, setting them down, coming back and getting another one.
Oh my God! I
love that
show a
story.
picture of it right here. I was standing by the dance floor. I told you somebody would come off holding a drink, have a drink, set it down in the bar, say, "Hey, can I have another drink?" They'd get the drink poured for them that I'm paying for. Then they'd go back on the dance floor and dance and forget about the drink and come back and order another one. And I go, "Dude, that's your drink there." That drink, yeah, I'm paying for it. And at the end of the night, the owner of the place at the restaurant where we had our little party after the wedding, he comes over and he just hands me a check, and I was like, okay, here's American Express card.
Right.
Paying that out for a year.
I got to tell you, there's so many things, and everyone's different. I mean, some people are really about the family being there and getting all the relatives and having a big, and then you still hear about the elopements.
Well, you didn't do any of that. You didn't get married. You didn't elope. You just been living in sin for 50 years.
Yeah, that's about it. No.
Way to go.
I have no guilt. Okay, so there you have it.
Mike, so via con Dios, you got anybody to
Yeah,
talk about?
we talked about Gene Hackman's situation. The other one, a notable one, was Carl Dean, who for 60 years was married to Dolly Parton. Mm-hmm. And he died. He was 82 years old.
Was there even a picture of him when he died? Dude, they
Yeah.
never saw a picture of
Yeah.
him.
No, there was a nice feature in the Evening News the other night about it. Actually, he was just an ordinary, decent guy who was madly in love with her. She loved him, and they lived this terrific life together. But he did not want to be in the spotlight, and
Yeah.
and just never was.
No.
So yeah, and
All
then
right, too bad for you, Dolly. By the way, Dolly,
Yeah.
I can introduce you to Bill Belichick now if you want.
yeah, that'd work.
Free.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, who else?
And then Pamela Bach died.
the
She was
actress.
62. Yeah, the wife of David Hasselhoff. I remember all that turmoil. I guess he got arrested he got arrested actually for spousal abuse, and I guess he was a total asshole at a certain point in his life. But anyway, so they were divorced, had a couple of kids, and but she passed away.
Hasselhoff was the dude from
Baywatch.
Baywatch.
Yeah. Knight
He
Rider.
was the singer who was like big in Germany.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Superstar status in Germany.
And then he married he married Barbara Bach. Oh, that's right. And then now but they didn't stay married very long, though.
No.
I don't think.
No,
No.
no.
And now she's
then-
passed. Okay, too bad for Barbara.
And then the obscurata that you look forward to every week. Does the name D. Wayne Wiggins ring a bell?
No, D-Way Wiggin.
He was the founder of Tony Tone Tone.
What's
music-
Tony?
It had songs like Feels Good,
Tony.
Let's Get Down,
Tony,
whatever.
Tony,
Tony.
Tone.
Tone.
What's one of their songs?
Let's Get Down, Whatever You Want, and Feels Good. Total mystery to me.
You don't need no sympathy, you just need someone who can. Whatever you want. Whenever you need me.
I was going to say, I'd have to go get that on.
Dwayne. Tony.
D. Wayne.
D.
Yeah, D
Wayne.
apostrophe.
Oh,
yeah.
D apostrophe. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Wayne.
of course.
All right. Who else?
That's it.
Oh,
That's
thank
it.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lord. I'm still trying to get my brain around how you get mice feces all over you and die. I gotta keep my eye open.
Actually,
Don't
I
spend a lot of time on
I
that.
think Jeff, what it is you think about, if you have a mouse in the house and it could say, it could end up on anything. It could end up on the countertop, right? You know what I mean? It could just go over and, I'm not saying it's filth or anything like that, but you could have it on anything. You leave crumbs out or anything. I mean, and you live in New Mexico, like up in the Santa Fe area where there's wildlife outside your door. It could happen.
Well, and it also said that that it wasn't necessarily direct contact. It can be
Yeah.
it can be airborne. It could be in the dust in the house, whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was kind of creepy.
That's just crazy creepy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And then she died in the bathroom or something. He never didn't know she was there for a
He
week.
didn't know she was there. He died a week
And-
later.
And the dog died.
Yeah.
Dog was kenneled up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They found one of the dogs lived. They found when the
Yeah,
guy
there were
came,
two
finally
dogs.
found
Two
him.
dogs lived, and
Oh,
originally,
okay.
originally they reported that the dog that died was a German Shepherd, but it was not. It was a different breed that died in the cage.
Okay.
Oh my God! Oh my God! What a mess!
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. But the other thing that's sad about that is that if you go a week like that, if in my life, I think our kids would be checking on why haven't we heard from mom or dad, that kind of thing. So it's
Well, yeah.
also they weren't in touch with anybody.
Well, that's just it. I mean, you think about who else is in your life that you speak to or contact regularly, or who come by the house, or who might suspect something is afoot. I mean, it's just tragic all the way around.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to keep my eye open for any dirty little mouse creeping around here.
Yeah.
There's something in the back here. I have a little a garden going back there. I'm growing some herbs, some basil and a couple of pepper plants. And something has been creeping in there and eating my basil. So whatever that is, it's probably one of these feces dropping mice and it wants to kill me.
No, it's the rats who live in the bushes on the wall between you and Rick's house.
The bougainvillea.
The bougainvillea.
The bougainvillea rat.
Yeah.
Better not be a rat.
Every once in a while, when we're over there for our sip and smoke, which is a boomer term for having a cocktail and smoking a good cigar, you'll see the rats running along the top of the wall.
There you go.
So
That's, oh man. So you guys got to check up on me then. If you don't hear from me in 3 or 4 days, make sure you call or figure something out because who knows what could happen.
you got it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Death.
Look out for one another. Yeah.
All right. And now for my favorite thing is, of course, oh no, first I want to tell you a story that somebody was talking to me the other night and brought up a name of a friend of mine from the old days, named Jim. And what I remember the story about Jim was I was at his house sleeping on his couch one night, and I woke up. There was a cat sitting on me, sinking his claws into my thigh in the middle of the night. And I got I'm screaming, and the cat is looking at me like he's laughing at me. He just gets off and he walks away. Well, the Jim's cat. So I got to thinking about cats, and that drove me crazy.
You're the scratching pad. Yeah.
Scratching pad. And then there's that. I'm going to show a picture of. So that got me thinking about cats, and I looked up and I found the picture of the world's biggest cat. His name is Samson, the Maine. He's called Samson the Maine Coon, Coon, is the world's largest domestic cat, coming in at an impressive 4 foot long, and he weighs 28 pounds. He lives in New York City with his owner, wakes up every morning by sitting on the owner's chest.
That's like the size of a bobcat.
Yeah.
4 foot. I wouldn't even want to feed that thing.
No.
Here, come here, Samson. Put a steak out for him.
Yeah.
There's a huge litter box, I'll tell you.
All right, and always we have clog news because Mike and his clogs
Love my
crazy. Now, Mike, if you're going to wear those things, you cannot wear them on the island of Capri, where clogs are footwear non grata. Not only because they are a fashion crime, but on the cobblestone streets, the clunky shoes can sound like a stampede of wild horses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no clogs if you're heading over to Italy.
Well, we've been to Capri many times, and I would never wear clogs on those streets.
If you have a pair of Crocs, you need these. Introducing the construction set. This set comes with an excavator bucket and 2 tracks. These are perfect for the beach or if you just want Tonkas on your feet.
Wonder if you can operate that bucket remotely. Walk around scooping up.
You can scoop up little mice feces with it.
Exactly, right.
So they won't be troubled by that. Oh my gosh. All right, so the last thing here is I wanted to show this incredible video of this guy who decided that, he lives in Florida and he sees that he's got a gator in his yard. And instead of doing what any normal human being would do, which is to call whatever agencies you need to, basically 911, get the hell over here. He doesn't do that. I'm going to show it right now.
Not a chance in hell. This is me.
No, he's insane. And then, but and he's like dead serious about it. Like, I'm gonna,
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna take care of this. And looking around, and people around him are like,
Yeah,
standing.
the whole neighborhood standing there waiting for him to get his arm bitten off or something.
And they're not going to do anything but take video
No.
pictures of it.
Yeah, they're cheering him on. It says, dude, turn him loose.
Yeah.
It's that
No way, no.
Yeah, but this is a sidebar here, but it's the same mentality that if that alligator could have jumped out there and bit his head
Yeah.
off, and nobody would try to help the guy because they're too busy filming it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Right.
this whole thing about there was an accident and the person got hurt in a car accident, and nobody went in to help this woman because they were all just sitting there taping it.
Yeah. Well, the other thing about the guy with the alligator in the trash can is when he's going down the hill to put it back in the water, he's standing in front of it and pulling it down towards him.
Yeah.
So if he falls backwards, here comes the alligator right over the top of him.
Yeah, that alligator was pissed too. It's not like they had that was in there.
Well, of course. Yeah.
He's gonna come out of there fucking. He's gonna come out of there fighting, mad,
Looking
biting
for a
mad.
meal.
It's not like you're scooping a dead animal into the trash can, It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put this possum in here because it's dead now. I've done that a million times, but no way with an alligator is kicking around like that.
They got alligators there where you live, don't they, Paul?
On occasion, but they stay out of salt water. So, but there was a guy. I think last year who found one up on his porch, on his door.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Okay.
No.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to us once again. Our viewership has gone through the absolute roof. There was another 125 subscribers last week, but we're here for a straight bag. Please subscribe. If you subscribe, Mike and Paul are going to come over to your house, and they'll do I'll show you the routine again that they do right now. I'm going to of them performing, and they'll do this in your living room if you want.
Live, play, the damn world is free. Do what you want, but free.
That's right.
Happy to.
We bring our own phonograph too. We have a phonograph. You boomers will know what that is.
Bring your own phonograph. And send us a line. Send us a note. Send us a video. Send us a comment. You can tell us anything. You can comment on that piece of crap hairstyle of Mike's if you want.
Look at that. Look at that. Is that fabulous? That is so perfectly done.
Did you do it
That's where the
today?
word-
I mean, what's that?
Did you do it today?
No, it was over the weekend.
That is a good quaff.
That's a great cloth. Setting the
And send that to
style
old
trend.
people. Huh?
Setting the style trend here.
Send all that information to oldpeoplethisweek@gmail.com and check out our Substack. Last week, Paul told a second tale of his incredible life and career, and next week there'll be another task for you to perform that will make you into a better human being. So that's the order of things. Subscribe, send us an email, and check out our
Comments.
Substack.
Exactly.
And other
you.
than that,
All good, I said. Thank you. Yeah.
all good. Thank you. Adios. See you guys
Okay.
next week.
Take care. Thanks for watching.
Here's the Old People This Week quote of the week. These are the people of the land, the common clay of the New West. Morons. Jim the Waco Kid, Blazing Saddles.